Lately, I've been enjoying trying to find new bike trails in California, so during a recent trip to Ventura, I heard about the 14-mile trail from Ojai to the Ventura Coast. I already had my bike with me, so I headed up to Ojai and grabbed vegan food with Amy and the babies, and then got dropped off to start the trail back to Ventura. Here's all the information if you want to ride the Ojai Valley Trail to the Ventura River Trail, and let me know if I left anything off in the comments. To start the trail, I got dropped off right next to the Bryant Street entrance in Ojai. This bike path does allow Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes. There's the official map of what we're doing on this trail. This bike trail is 14 miles from Ojai to Ventura, and it's actually two different trails. The first part is the Ojai Valley Trail, and the second part is the Ventura River Trail. I started in Ojai and then rode it all the way back to the Ventura Coast, where I met up with Amy and the family. Doing it this direction, it's basically flat and downhill most of the way. So we're already about a half mile away from downtown Ojai. You can see this beautiful trail that we've been going through, and that there are a lot of these stop signs though when you're in the town of Ojai that you have to watch out for. Through most of the town of Ojai, the trail is incredibly beautiful, with large trees providing shade as you ride through areas like Libby Park. We're about a mile and a quarter in, and there's a good parking area right here if you want to start the drive to Ventura. Plus, look at all this awesome tree tunnels you get to go through. When you make it to this turn right here with the horse, you actually have to cross the street in order to continue with the trail, so make sure you follow the signs. The trail is pretty easy to follow the entire way. This is the only section that's a little bit confusing. You basically just have to cross the street and then ride along the shopping center parking lot until you get back on the nature portion of the trail. During this section, it's still pretty beautiful, but there was a lot more traffic from the cars and the bikes as I was riding by. So this part of the trail, it's basically paralleling the main street from Ventura to Ojai. As you're going along the path, there's multiple benches like this that you can sit and take a break at. Also, there's a walking, I think, equestrian path right there that's off of the bike path, which is nice. This portion of the trail has less shaded trees as it parallels Highway 33, and there are a few sections where you actually have to wait for a street light in order to cross. It's a really nice time of year. We even got some wildflowers on the trail. As I left the Ojai area, the amount of traffic on the trail dropped significantly, and there was large sections where I didn't see any other people as I was riding. This was a really great experience as I was able to just stop and pull over and take in the views whenever I wanted as I made my way down. So when you come down this section right here, there's a little cutout. You definitely want to take that because it takes you out to this epic viewpoint. I think that's supposed to be the Ventura River right there, but there's no water in it. The view here was stunning, looking out towards the mountains of the Los Padres National Forest. Continuing onward, the road is up there. We're about 5 or so miles in, and there's this area called Oakview, which is about a half mile away, that has bathrooms, food, and something to fix your bike. I'm not going there, but it's here if you need it. As you enter the Oakview area, you have to navigate a few stop signs and streets before making it back to the main bike path. There's another little pull-off right after that Oakview area that has another beautiful view, a forested area, and then those mountains in the background. Now we're going alongside the houses on one side, and then there's still a trail for walkers on the right side. For about a mile or so, this section is the most remote on the trail as you can't even hear the cars or see the road anymore. Alright, we just reached this really cool bridge. It's pretty long and a little bit narrow, but crosses over some water at some point in the year, but it's pretty dry right now. After researching online, I found out that this is the San Antonio Creek Bridge. It was built in 2012 because this section of the trail was always prone to flooding. There was basically no water when I was there, but it was a really cool bridge to ride over. As you leave this area, you'll head through the community of Casita Springs, whose claim to fame is that they were the home of Johnny Cash in the 1960s. From there, the trail enters Foster's Park, which again has beautiful shaded trees, and is the end of the Ojai Valley section of the trail. This area also looks like another popular starting place. There's people parked underneath the freeway right there, and you can go either direction. There's also a cool bridge area, like lions and stuff, that goes over the Ventura River, it says. Crossing over this section near the freeway means you are officially on the Ventura River Trail. So right after recording that last clip by the freeway, it looks like there's actually public art along this part of the trail. So this is the wheel totem pole right along the trail. We are now entering the Ventura Land Trust, I guess, or we are going through it. As you begin the Ventura River Trail, you'll notice that you're going to be going along the highway for most of the way. So we've now entered into the Ventura portion. We're kind of leaving the nature behind, and we're definitely more in an industrial area. I think they said that this was like a waste treatment plant next to us or something, but still try to make the trail pretty, but definitely a more industrial area. During this section, we crossed another metal bridge. I looked online, but I wasn't able to find out any information about this bridge or what it crossed, so let me know if you know in the comments. Continuing on, the trail gets metal fencing on both sides of the path. We've traded the nature for abandoned buildings and barbed wire fence. You will then cross under Highway 33 and ride along the east side of the highway for the rest of the way. Here you'll cross through the Ventura Oil Fields, which were found in 1919 and are still producing to this day. Special truck crossing stop sign. Not for that guy, apparently. We're free to go. Getting real close to proper Ventura. As you cross over the major road at Stanley Avenue, this last mile of the trail is unobstructed and along the highway with houses on one side of you and the highway on the other. While it doesn't have the nature that the beginning of the trail had, it's still a nice end to a great bike ride. I noticed a few of these things, but I have no idea what they are. That doesn't really help me either, but there's a couple of them along the trail. Here's another one. Again, I have no idea what these are. Let me know in the comments what I missed out on these. As we enter Ventura, you can see the Sarah Cross Park right up there. So this is where we just came out of right here. You can see the sign says Ojai 15 miles. That's where we came from. I think that might be the official end of the trail. It looks like there's a sign up there, but this is probably where most people would start. We left the bike trail behind, but I guess we're still following the Ventura River Trail. I'm not sure where it actually ends. My plan was always to try to make it all the way to the Ventura Pier, as that's where I was meeting Amy and the family. So I connected with the bike path on the major road and headed towards the beach. Of course, there's a lot more car traffic here as this is city riding, so do make sure you note that, as some people don't like to ride their bike in this type of area. That being said, it was only a 7 to 10 minute ride to get down to the coast. As I came under the freeway, crossed over the railroad, now I'm heading that way to the beach. I put Surfer's Point in my GPS and that's what I navigated to, as I knew there was a nice cement bike path from here that took you down to the pier. And just like that, we made it to the beach. That was an absolutely awesome ride. Really fun experience to have. Plus it's downhill like the entire way, so definitely check it out if you can get dropped off up there. Now we just have a nice path all the way over to the pier where there's food and drinks. in my future. It's pretty hard to beat this awesome end of the trail riding along the coast like this. If you're looking for a fun family-friendly adventure in Ventura, just riding along the coast on the nice bike path they have is a great thing to do with the family. Made it back to the Ventura Pier, loaded up the bike, met up with the crew, and we're going to get some food. At the Ventura Pier, I love Beach House Tacos and Made West Brewery. Both are great stops. Made it back, got our elote for a snack. If you're into biking and you're in the Ventura area, that's an awesome trail, especially because it goes downhill all the way to Ventura. That's it for this adventure. Thanks for coming along with me. We'll see you on the next one.